Hi friends, my name's host Eric, and I'm going to explore with you today the exciting world of old photographs that one can find on Google Images. Now, in this set of photographs that I've chosen to comment upon, it shows a progression of fashion and or presentation of self, how people view themselves across the time since photography, basically. So we'll start with this photo here. Some of this stuff comments on gender and race and stuff like that to a certain extent, and this might be an example of one. This is apparently an X-ray beauty contest, which makes very little sense. Like, none of those skeletons is any more attractive than any of the other skeletons, as far as I can tell. But I think the one in the middle has been declared the best skeleton. So, congratulations to her. That's an interesting photo. Why is the one in the middle looking the most nervous about her boobs when hers are the most abundant? I'm not sure. Where is this? What? They're Nazis. They're Nazis. No wonder. I didn't even realize that when I got this picture. Now I see the little swastikas there. They're Nazis. Well, and see, this is, if you think Nazi Germany was a good place to be? Well, imagine being that lady right there. What's her job? Boob inspector, I guess. And then imagine being this poor girl in the middle. Oh my gosh, are my boobs okay? It's a funny picture. In this instance, I like this picture because all these girls are smiling happily, and, you know, like, this girl screwed up. She forgot to ignore the fact that this lady is passed out like the rest of them are doing. You're supposed to stand there and smile happily, Argentina, because you mean more happily maybe because you got one less competitor now. Japan, you screwed the pooch. Honduras, you're out of it. Cuba, no chance. You guys are all looking at this lady instead of pulling an Argentina. She's the Lionel Messi of her swimsuit contest. And then look how dramatically styles change over the years. Like, so this looks like 1978 or so. Like, I was a kid when this was going down. When this time period was happening, I was maybe 7, 8 years old or something like that. But I clearly remember these days and what it was like. And the world was wide and empty then, and also rather boring. Now, what I got this picture specifically because people get upset about COVID protocol and stuff, but these ladies are your real COVID pioneers. As you see, they understand the importance of covering not just the mouth, but also the forehead, because we can't establish clearly that forehead contagion doesn't exist. Anyhow, what are they actually doing? I have no idea. What a weird picture, huh? They were doing something. Now, what's wrong with this lady? She's not dark enough. So this is a very convenient spray it yourself suntan machine. You spray on the brown and walk out, frown upside down. I'd like to have one of these machines. I'm assuming you would as well, especially if you're as horribly and unacceptably pale as this lady is. Appropriately, back in the day, you had to have a man who measured your bathing suit to make sure it was long enough. If your bathing suit was too short, then you were burqed up and shipped off to the Middle East to become part of a sheik's harem. Little known facts about the 30s. Of course, equal opportunity employer. If you're going to check out my skirt, I'm going to check out yours. And this lady here appears to be evaluating the quality of the tartar that comprises the material pattern of the kilt upon the lower part of the Scottish soldier's body. So, you know, goes both ways. Now, this hat really says Eric to me. It says, I'm here, I've got a crab on my head, and I'm ready to rock and roll. And you can see it in her facial expression, too. Oh, yeah, let's go. Fuck yeah. Let's rail this shit up. That's one cool 1974 dude. He's got 2 cases of Miller, and he's riding a unicycle while shirtless. So, 1974 was won by this guy. These ladies are instead trying to win 1984. You can tell the font has changed. All of a sudden, we've got people writing fonts like this instead of some fancier way. And what's been tossed aside? Any notion of we should get dressed up. It's all been tossed aside. Now we're just posing. We're posing because we have MTV potentially. We just got it, and we're feeling pretty badass about it. That's why we got that Rush hat on. I'm gonna go see Rush. I am a big fan of both their overly complicated drummer and their weirdly sopranic singer. In contrast, these ladies had a different attitude about fashion. They apparently wanted to look fancy. So they went to an art gallery and they all put on their best, fanciest sort of 1961 era clothes. And look how fancy they look. Which one would you rather have? Which group would you rather hang out with? This group or this group? I don't know. Now, this lady, I'm not sure what this picture is from, but Judge David Demers apparently said, yes, I will enter this into evidence, and this is the process of entering it into evidence, I guess. I don't know what's happening here, but I just thought this was a funny picture. This is the last gasp of the old pre-photography world, fashion-wise. These guys are some sorts of aristocrats. I want to make it very clear to everybody else that they aren't ordinary peons like the rest of us by putting lots of different bangles and shiny things on to their outfits here. So, you might say the aristocracy were the first bedazzlers. And while it was not acceptable for the women to have short bathing suits, it was acceptable for the men to go swimming in diapers so long as they were wearing top hats. Otherwise, it's public nudity. In case you think dressing nice makes you more classy, how uncomfortable does this picture make you? Yeah, you got, I see you back there with the tie on, the nice shirts and everything, and I also see what absolutely phenomenally horrible people you are, so I like these outfits. I wouldn't mind being a part of this baseball team. They'd have to get me a male version. I'd wear what the guy at the top up here is wearing, that little white suit. But, you know, ESPN, why, when you're talking about historical greats, don't you ever talk about the indoor baseball team champions of the province meet, which is, of course, SNHS, some new high school in 1924 won with their all Asian woman baseball team, the only all Asian woman baseball team that was playing in Providence, Massachusetts at the time. Kind of a historical anomaly people forget about. How about these guys? You see, in the olden days, while the women's bathing suits had to be a certain length, men's bathing suits went through a succession of arbitrary rules. After the diaper top hat phase, then there was this period of time where in order to go swimming, you had to dress like a prisoner in a prison, all striped, like the Hamburglar. In fact, the Hamburglar originally was a 1920s McDonald's marketing campaign to encourage people to eat more McDonald's while swimming. Yeah, this is like, what, 1964 maybe? 1964's sexiest girl and her moment of epic defining youth, you know? And this 1974's same thing. She's probably cuter, I guess. What were you looking at, Eric? Look, I actually gathered a whole bunch of pictures, and I decided to group them, and these were among the group. But there's a bunch of ones that have nothing to do with boobs right there, okay? These three, this fashion doesn't do it for me. Big hair, like big pointy bras? No, thank you. I don't know what year this is, but it's like 77, but it's, south of the Mason-Dixon line. And then, at the end of the day, underneath our bodies, our beeves, our clothes, what are we all really? A bunch of skeletons. But that doesn't mean we're the same, because it's a very good chance your skeleton isn't beautiful enough. Which is why I've begun my practice of internal plastic surgery to fix your skeleton so that you too can win a skeleton beauty contest. The end. But pushing that button doesn't do anything, Eric.